Hello wrestling fans, welcome to SICW Wrestling Explosion. I'm Drew Abbenhouse, pleased to bring you a great episode of wrestling action. We take a look at Big Jim Hofarth as he goes into battle against the icon of the Travis Cook organization, Chris Hargis. Classic action from 1969 as Wild Bull Curry wrestles Johnny Valentine. And as soon as we come back from the break, the man from Boston, Massachusetts, the Enforcer, Jimmy D, takes on newcomer Kyle King. We'll be right back.
The old season is over. The new season is coming. The Gateway Grizzlies are building for a spectacular campaign. The talent will be strong, hard-hitting, solid defense, reliable pitching. Plus, as always, the Grizzlies will have a schedule of superb promotions. It will be fun for the entire family at the right price. The Grizzlies were named the Frontier League Organization of the Year. The home for all this baseball excitement is the remarkable GCS ballpark. Make plans now to enjoy baseball the way it should be. For more information and updates, go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go, opening matchup. Getting ready to get started. The bell has sounded, and the gentlemen are locking horns. On the right, in the yellow shirt, it is the Enforcer from Boston, Massachusetts, Jimmy D, taking on a newcomer, a man making a debut here in SICW in the pink and white. It's Kyle King from Kansas City. Jimmy D, nice opening exchange from these two, both jockeying for position. Looks like Jimmy D finally settled in on the opening advantage here. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now we don't know much about Kyle King. That's a benefit on his behalf. Jimmy D doesn't really know what to expect here. Oh, you can expect that. There's a little mean there. You can play dirty as well. Jimmy D, of course, no secret, is as good of a brawler, as tough as anyone. So Kyle King bringing a bit of those brawling tactics. All that got him was run right in to that strong knee from the Enforcer. And there you go. He's as mean as he is tough, is Jimmy D. And as experienced as he is, he continues to add to his arsenal. So very dangerous is the Enforcer. Crowd chanting for new guy, new guy. But again, that's Kyle King receiving a kick to the face and a nice leg drop from Jimmy D. Only gets a 1 count from the referee. And fans, we've got 2 big dates you need to mark your calendars for. First of all, we return to the Swansea Firehouse November the 5th. It is a fundraiser for the Swansea Fire Department. And it's going to be a tremendous event. Folks are still talking about our huge event there in October, where we raised a lot of money, went to the St. Clair Special Services Association, and now we're trying to raise some funds for the Swansea Fire Department. So come on out, have a great night of wrestling. And we'll try to raise some money for some people that are well deserving. That money goes to keeping all of their equipment up to date and just helping the fire department run its day-to-day operations that allow them to get out to you and me whenever we need their help. So it's our honor to be there November the 5th in the Swansea Firehouse. And if you have any sort of group looking to raise any funds, never hesitate to contact SICW, decades of experience. Oh, speaking of experience, Jimmy D using his to get out of Dodge. There's Kenny King kicking out at 2. But folks, contact us at, as always, 618-286-4848, or visit us on SICW Wrestling Explosion on Facebook. And it's always our honor for SICW to give a little back to the communities that are always there to support us. And then November 19th, we're right back inside these walls in East Carondelet. So mark your calendars for November 5 and November 19th for great SICW All-Star action. We've got a great episode. After this matchup, we're going to see a great classic interview from one of Bruiser Brody's journeys to SICW from the late 80s. Later on, Herb Simmons catches up with B. Brian Blair, the legendary B. Brian Blair, and I think Kenny King's got this one wrapped up, folks. Oh, Jimmy D kicking out at 2, barely. 2 9/10. Big Jim taking on Chris Hargis later in this episode. And we'll also take a trip back to 1969 as Johnny Valentine takes on Wild Bill Curry. And folks, holy cow, Kenny King, or pardon, Kyle King, he did it. The newcomer, the underdog, upsetting Jimmy D. What a debut for Kyle King.
Kyle King!
Let Custom Truck Upholstery give your vehicle a facelift. Visit us on 707 North 20th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. Custom Truck Upholstery merges old world craftsmanship and attention to detail with the latest in modern technology to make your car, truck, boat, or motorcycle look like new. Call Custom Truck Upholstery at 618-875-9850.
You know, it's always good to be back over here in the St. Louis area, right around the area. The assassin, of course, a big guy. You know, we talked about this a month ago when we were here, that I was probably giving 25 or 30 pounds away from him.
Yes, indeed.
But you know, when you get into professional wrestling, that's one thing you realize. I think it's the same in professional football or professional basketball or any of the other sports you get in. You always realize that that day is going to come with that guy across from you. He's going to be a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit tougher, but you're going to have to get in there and perform or you ain't going to get none of that money in your hand. You know, I'm always happy to be out here with Southern Illinois Wrestling, Herb Simmons. He's got a big show coming up over on, I believe it's September 12th over at the White House.
That's correct.
I believe he's going to be back here at the Carondelet Athletic Center, 10th of October?
About a month or 2 months from now, somewhere like that.
Right. I'm sure everybody here in the St. Louis area is getting real familiar with Herb Simmons. You know, he's a very personal friend of mine. I'm always happy to come up here, be a part of Southern Illinois Wrestling, get in the middle of all the good action they got here. Looking forward to coming back, being with you, being with the Wrestlers, being with Herb Simmons.
Can I ask you one question? Is there anyone in particular here in Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling that really caught your eye, Mr. Brody?
When I was at the Carondelet Athletic Center, there was 2 real good-looking women in the front row. They had purple tops on, sort of like yellow skirts. Couldn't take my eyes off them.
Wonderful.
Belva Mechanical Incorporated is the place to go for commercial and industrial heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigerating work. Their union sheet metal shop is the most modern, well-equipped in southwestern Illinois. Their work on the SIUE Engineering Building won Belva Mechanical the Madigan Special Merit Award for new construction. Call 233-0081 for information. Belleville Mechanical will fabricate ductwork and custom fittings to your specifications. The highest union quality, superb workmanship, state-of-the-art equipment. Contact Belleville Mechanical.
SICW is pleased to welcome as a new sponsor Warma Witter Chrysler and Associates Inc., independent insurance agent specializing in public entity insurance. For all your insurance needs, contact Bradley J. Chrysler at 618-632-7555, extension 806. That's 618-632-7555. When it comes to customer service for your insurance coverage, let Warma Witter Chrysler and Associates assist you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this should be a good one. Oh! Little bit of a Pearl Harbor attack from the icon Chris Hargis. Not content to wait for the opening bell, taking the fight right to Big Jim Hofarth. And folks, this will be a good one. These are 2 folks that have been on an upward roll in SICW, and they're looking to climb even higher up the SICW mountain. Oh, there's Big Jim. Oh, thunderous blows from Big Jim Hofarth. Oh, and there's one more, just a crushing overhand chop. That'll send all of the air right out of you. Oh, followed up with a huge splash. Chris Hargis, he might be done right here. Big Jim putting an exclamation point on the matter with the big body slam on Chris Hargis. Very, very intelligent rolling out of the ring. That was getting a little too hot in the kitchen, but heck, that would have been the end of the matchup, I think, if Big Jim would have been able to attempt a pinfall. That was very smart of Chris Hargis's end, but now this Big Jim not giving him one moment to recover, bringing the fight to the floor. Fans getting a front row view, and he just slid in, slid out, just to stop referee Nick Ridenauer from counting to 10. Oh, now both men have rammed into that steel post. My goodness, Big Jim, the winner of this year's Bruiser Brody Memorial Battle Royal, and Chris Hargis has been on a roll for months. But you saw Chris Hargis breaking up that pinfall attempt. Folks, the count out, rather. This has devolved from a wrestling match. If it ever was that, this was just a fight. I think they've stopped listening to the referee's count. They're taking a tour of the East Carondelet Community Center. Big Jim looks like he was introducing Chris Hargis to the merchandise table. Referees called for the bell. I don't think these two bulls heard any of that. They both see red, and this fight continues.
22 seconds. Both men have been counted out of the ring.
Officially a double count out, but this isn't over. Oh, Big Jim ramming Hargis into the front doors. Well, fans, officially a double count out, but I imagine the issue between these two warriors is not over. Wrestling fans, mark your calendars for two huge SICW events this November. November the 5th, we return to the Swansea Firehouse for a huge fundraiser for the Swansea Fire Department. And November the 19th, we return to the East Carondelet Community Center. For ticket information on both events, visit us on Facebook at SICW Wrestling Explosion or call 618-286-4848.
Wrestling fans, Herb Simmons here from SICW. No stranger to you. Of course, 40 years I've had the honor of coming to you and talking to some of the legends that has come to East Carondelet, and tonight is no different. I am so honored to be here with a gentleman who I know a lot of you have grown up on, none other than the Killer B, Brian Blair. Brian, it's a pleasure to have you in East Carondelet.
Well, you know something, Big Herb? I've loved you for many, many a year, and I've traveled around the world, and it's great to be right here in East Carondelet. But I got to tell you something. I've been from Maine to Spain, and I've been deep down in the Ukraine. I've been from ocean to ocean. I've been from coast to coast. And you know something? SICW is the hottest thing that I am digging the most, and you are what's made it right.
Well, you know, and I really appreciate that. And again, we've been trying to get this meeting to get you in here, but your schedule, and I got to tell you, our hats are off to you, the Cauliflower Alley Club. I got to come out there a few years ago when our good friend Carl Lauer invited me out there. And what you were doing, I mean, you're carrying that tradition on with what Carl had done for many years, kind of like what we're doing here, what Sam Muchnick did and Larry Matisek, trying to keep that tradition of wrestling alive. And the Cauliflower Alley is just doing a tremendous job of remembering all the people who laid that foundation.
Well, thank you very much, Herb. You know, I'm so pumped up and full of energy when I think of the CAC, the Cauliflower Alley Club. That's where the only 501c3 for broken down wrestlers, well, I shouldn't say broken down. I should say broke wrestlers, get a little help if you know what I mean. Guys fall on bad times. We talk wrestling talk and we talk the smack and walk the walk. But one thing's for sure, we got to take care of our brothers and our sisters of the business, and we do just that. So you can go to www.caulifloweralleyclub.org, and for $25, you can help a wrestler out. And they're not broken down. I'm just giving a little rag in there, a little, I don't know, a little fun. I love to have fun, and I love, especially when I go down to Hazel's Honey Hut and I pick up a quart of that Orange Blossom Special, and I brought you a present, Herb. I got to give you a quart of that Orange Blossom Special, because when I chug it on down, I get ready for some. I get my toes tapping, and I feel my wings flapping, and I get ready for some jaw jacking and back cracking, and I brought you a quart of Hazel's Honey Hut, and I also brought you one of my special, hold on.
Wow. Oh.
Olivia Walker Killer Bee jackets. The only people that she made jackets for were Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Ric Flair, whoop, and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And I'm giving you this jacket, Herb Simmons, because I love you, brother. You're a good man, and you do a lot of good things for a lot of good people, and that is so important. And that's what the Cauliflower Alley Club does.
Well, and as I said, this man right here is keeping that tradition alive of wrestling, just like we are here at SICW. Sam Muchnick, Larry Matisek, Dick the Bruiser, Bruiser Brody, and we mentioned some of these names. This
history.
This picture we have back here, you were in here looking at it earlier. Know everybody on here, you know.
I've either wrestled these guys, watched these guys. I idolize these guys in a special way. Andre the Giant, Dusty Rhodes, and I, more miles than you could imagine. I mean, Jack Briscoe, one of my greatest friends in the whole world, Gerald Briscoe, Orton Jr., the Von Erichs. Everybody comes through St. Louis, but they want to come to East Coeur d'Alene. And I'm glad I'm here, Herb. SICW, it's the hottest thing going today.
For music and fun, the place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars of the first U.S. tour of Nickelback to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue, with more made at every news show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
Fans, join us as we take a trip back to 1969 to witness two legendary grapplers, Johnny Valentine and Wild Bull Curry, do battle in a 2 out of 3 falls match. As we join this contest, Johnny Valentine leads 1-0.
Bring it out to Bob Stevenson, and timekeeper Bill Bailey have been scattered on all sides. Curry's on the outside. You see him as Valentine goes to work on him. He got him where he could clobber him, and Bull again now is off on the concrete. But if a session down to the cold concrete can be of any use to him in recovering, then this trip will be well taken. The trouble is, you come down, you hit the bones of knees and arms and elbows. And Curry wants to fight his way in from in there, and there goes a driving elbow, and he didn't make it this time. That's a cinch. There's the Bull as he moves up. Valentine catching, and here is a furious battle going on each side of the ropes, and Bull is going to get in this time. Rolling front headlock, and Valentine desperately went into a wrestling move that time. Desperately. And the first fall goes to Johnny Valentine.
9 minutes 45 seconds, a 2-minute rest period in the ring. 9:45 is the time.
We'll be back here again after this word from the studio. There's the bell, and up in the ring we are now, ready and set to go with Johnny Valentine, a fall ahead, moving in there to try to clobber the second fall right smack out of Bull Curry if he possibly can. And he knows an advantage when he sees it, but watch that left of Curry's, and that right. But Valentine now is exuberant over a success in the first fall, and he has walked right into Dynamite, and that Dynamite is swinging at him from all sides. Beautifully done by Bull Curry. And Curry has suddenly bounced back here, and this tremendous crowd is roaring him on. But Bull knows that he can't afford to make a mistake. He wants to get even with his Valentine, and ooh, right smack in the kisser, a beautiful wallop. Valentine is caught right in the snoot. Side headlock. Curry driving it home. And how he laid it in there. And Valentine has been clobbered down to that deck in no uncertain terms. And this crowd here senses that it is Bull Curry's advantage, and they are rooting him in there to do something about it. Watch that Bull. You've got to watch Valentine too. Here is one of the most dangerous people. Right on the, above the eye, he clobbered him that time. And again alongside the jaw. And Valentine is standing in there. You notice that what Curry's doing is measuring him. He's trying to cut him open. He was breaking down over the eye with those blows. And he has Valentine now clobbered right smack across the snoot time after time. Valentine is backing away. Bull Curry aiming at that target, again throwing those blows, and Valentine is in trouble city right now. Listen to the uproar here as referee Dick Raines tries to keep Curry away from Valentine, and Curry is just as determined. And Curry has Valentine bleeding. And he's working on that cut. You'll see him lay it in there. And again, as he blasts away with studied determination, he is belting him over the eye and clobbering right smack in there with everything he's got. And when Bull Curry lets fly, look at that face of Johnny Valentine as Curry blasts him. Ooh, tremendous. And Valentine down like the proverbial timber. This crowd standing on its feet, roaring for Curry, roaring for the crowd to count. He doesn't want this crowd, the count stretched. Raines is trying to keep the Bull back so that he can execute this count. And Valentine is watching closely. Here he is now, taking no chances, but he doesn't have the stuff to get up. There is a count down and out.
17 seconds to Bull Curry. The match now stands at one fall each.
Listen to that noise as Bull Curry pounds out the winning and equalizing fall by a technical knockout, if you will. He was under the ropes, but that didn't enter into it. We're going to be back here in a moment. We'll be back here right after we have this word. Dick Raines is examining the cut. This match may be over. No, we'll be back here right after we have this word from the studio.
15 seconds.
Well, 10 seconds left in this rest period. The Bull Curry's ready to go. Whether Valentine's ready to go is doubtful. 2, 1, and there is the bell as Curry moves in and blasts away. And here he is continuing that same furious pace. Keeping on Valentine, and this crowd is going crazy with the blood splattering all over. Here is all over me. As Valentine catches those blows, and Dick Raines is trying to interfere, but he is not having any luck. There goes Curry now, determined to follow Valentine right smack out of the... We're trying to keep people here from injuring themselves by getting involved in this here, but Curry is determined that he is going to keep after Valentine and pound him. Dick Raines is tolling the count up in that ring. As Bull gets after him, chair in hand now, but the police got the chair out of the way, but he is after Valentine just the same. Spilling around here now to the opposite side. Both men have been counted outside the ring as they drive it home and drive us out of our chair area. Valentine bleeding tremendously, blasted loose, and Curry.
Both men have been counted out of the ring on a 20 count.
Danny McShane is trying to separate them. And now is Dick Raines trying to separate them, and Bull Curry letting fly impartially with those driving blows of his on McShane and Dick Raines with the seconds moving in, and we've got everything busting loose here as Raines catches it, and there goes Valentine being grabbed by the police and snatched up the aisle, and Curry himself roaring in all directions as he...
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 state tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
Folks, thanks for joining us for today's great wrestling action. Newcomer Kyle King picking up the upset over Jimmy D. Chris Hargis and Big Jim Hofarth unable to settle the score, and great wrestling action from the past. It's great action like this that SICW will bring you November the 5th in Swansea and November the 19th in East Carondelet. Folks, we'll see you right here next week on Fight TV and Charter Cable for more wrestling explosions.